Hello, welcome to the news. I am Bababumi Agbibi. The federal government has announced a new fiscal regime with a wide range of tax exemptions in the industry to arrest the spate of divestments in the oil and gas sector. The Minister of Finance and Coordinating Minister of the Economy, Wale Edun, explains that the fiscal incentives to revitalize Nigeria's oil and gas sector. The VAT Modification Order 2024 introduces exemptions on a range of key energy products and infrastructure, including diesel, feed gas, liquefied petroleum gas, compressed natural gas, electric vehicles, liquefied natural gas infrastructure, and clean cooking equipment. The notice of tax incentives for deep offshore oil and gas production also provides new tax reliefs for deep offshore projects. The minister says measures were designed to lower the cost of living, strengthen energy security, and accelerate Nigeria's transition to cleaner energy sources. The minister says the reforms were part of a broader series of investment-driven policy initiatives of President Bola Tinubu in line with policy directives 40 to 42. A bill seeking to license the operation and practice of private investigators in Nigeria has been shut down on the floor of the Senate. The sponsor of the bill, Senator Osita Ngwu, was advised to step down the bill after some senators described the proposed bill as a recipe for disaster. The decision to suspend consideration of the bill was sequel to a deliberation which lasted for over an hour during plenary. Senator Ngwu took time to highlight some provisions of the bills, saying the legislation seeks to provide a framework for the licensing and practice of private investigators in Nigeria. The bill also seeks to provide for a system of regulation, control, and conduct of the practice so as to ensure professional standards. After a heated deliberation, President of the Senate, Godswill Akpabio, advised the sponsor of the bill to step down the bill and consult further with the senators who have raised concerns about the bill. Meanwhile, a bill seeking to establish a Federal University of Agriculture and Tropical Studies in Osun State has passed second reading on the floor of the Senate. The bill, which was introduced for the first time, equally passed second reading without much debate. Sponsored by the leader of the Senate, Okpeyemi Bamidele, the bill was given accelerated passage and sent to the Senate Committee on Tertiary Education and TED Fund to report back in 3 weeks. The ECOWAS Parliament has called on regional parliamentarians to step up efforts towards ensuring West African women's financial inclusion and investments to promote female entrepreneurship and economic empowerment. The Parliament Speaker, Memunatu Ibrahima, says the Parliament was committed to addressing the myriad challenges militating against West African women who are represented by the ECOWAS Female Parliamentarians Association. According to Ibrahima, member states should ensure that women have access to the resources they need, such as bank accounts, loans, and investment opportunities, to realize their potential and ensure equitable opportunities for women entrepreneurs to blossom. Here in Lagos, Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu has restated his administration's commitment to ensuring that every young person in Lagos has access to tools and resources that will enable them accomplish their potentials. The governor stated this at the onboarding of another set of 2,500 graduates from its graduate internship placement program. Adetola Kayode reports.
2,500 graduates converged on Lagos Television Blue Roof for the 2024 official onboarding ceremony of the Graduate Internship Placement Program, a brainchild of the Sanwo-Olu administration to address the challenges of youth unemployment and lack of skills on the part of youths. After going through admission process and 3 weeks of intensive training, these fresh GIPP graduates are ready for the next phase, which is internship placement in government ministries and agencies. Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu, who is represented by his deputy Obafemi Hamzat, says the idea is born out of the need to ensure youths have the requisite tools, resources, connection, and relevant work experience to meet the challenges of both the public and private sector. Mr. Governor enjoins them to take full advantage of the rare privilege and opportunity.
And these are skills that are necessary to navigate work or job market. So from communications and teamwork and problem solving to professional ethics. These are things that probably they don't teach in school. but that we all need in order to survive in the workplace. So please don't view this program as just a platform for internship alone. It is for career growth, for personal development, and professional excellence. Be proactive, be curious, and be open to new experiences. Remember that success is not just about what you know, but how you apply what you know and how quickly you can apply it.
The Commissioner for Wealth Creation and Employment, Akinyemi Ajigbotafe, also reiterated government's commitment to building a future of opportunities for youths in Lagos, where unemployment will be drastically reduced.
I urge you to be diligent, proactive, and adaptable. These internships are stepping stones to bigger opportunities.
The participants were presented placement letters, while some outstanding ones during the pre-internship program were honored. The theme for the 2024 Graduate Internship Placement Program is Igniting a Future of Opportunities and Excellence. Adetola Kayode, LTV News.
The Independent Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offences Commission, ICPC, has announced that over 13 billion naira in diverted public funds was recovered in September 2024. The chairman of the ICPC will disclose this during the launch of the Commission's 2024 to 2028 Strategic Action Plan. Explains that the Commission is digitizing its operation to leverage technology to combat corruption. He added that the agency is decentralizing the anti-corruption effort by empowering state governments through the mobilization of state attorneys general. The agency will also continue to engage with the anti-corruption and transparency units in ministries, departments, and agencies to reinforce the grassroots monitoring mechanisms. The Nigerians in Diaspora Commission, NIDCOM, has advised Nigerians residents in Lebanon to consider moving out of the country now that commercial flights are still in operation. NIDCOM said the advice is a result of its worry over the attacks on Hezbollah and other areas in Lebanon by Israeli government. This was made known in statements signed by Director of Media and Public Relations and Protocols Unit at NIDCOM, Abdurrahman Balogun. Recall that Israel shifted its focus last month from the war in Gaza, which was sparked by the October 7 attacks by Iran-backed Hamas, to securing its northern border with Lebanon. As the Security Council met, Israeli forces were battling Hezbollah militants in Lebanon following targeted ground raids across the border by Israel. More than 1,000 people have died since last week in fighting that has included Israeli strikes on Beirut and its southern suburbs. Still on the war, Israel's military has killed 6 in attack on central Beirut, as 8 Israeli soldiers have also been killed in southern ground offensive. The attack is the second one on Lebanon, stating that the apartment building was linked to the armed group's health unit. Meanwhile, missiles also hit Beirut's southern suburb of Dahiye, a densely packed residential area that is also a Hezbollah stronghold and where the group's leader, Hassan Nasrallah, was killed. A day after Iran fired more than 180 missiles into Israel, 8 soldiers were killed in ground combat in South Lebanon as its forces thrust into its northern neighbor, and dozens of Israeli soldiers have also been injured. Israel has issued new evacuation orders for about 24 towns along the southern border, telling residents to head north of the Awali River, which flows east to west some 60 kilometers north of the Israeli frontiers. The Israeli military continued to urge residents of Lebanese villages who had evacuated their homes not to return until further notice. In sports, a stoppage time goal by Michael Onaruna handed former champions Bendel Insurance their first win of the 2024-2025 Nigeria Premier Football League season. The Insurance triumphed 1-0 over traditional rivals 3SC of Ibadan in the rescheduled Week 3 game at the Samuel Ogbemudia Stadium in Benin City. We have more in this report.
The game was Insurance's second at home this season, having played a goalless draw in their season opener against 10-man Rivers United last month. They suffered a defeat on the road against Katsina United and were forced to a 1-0 draw on Sunday by Niger Tornadoes of Minna. With 2 draws, 1 defeat in the first 3 games, Monday Odege's side were condemned to turn their fortunes around at home, and Onaruna snatched the win deep into the second half added time to break the hearts of their visitors. In another rescheduled Week 3 games decided on Wednesday, 9-time champions Enyimba also needed a late goal to secure a 1-0 win over Akwa United in Aba. Second half substitute Austin Onyemaechi grabbed the goal in the 74th minute to hand the league record champions their third win of the season in 4 games. Enyimba have moved up to third in the league table with 9 points from 3 matches, 1 point behind second place Rivers United and 3 points behind leaders Remo Stars. Insurance, on the other hand, are now 10th with 5 points after 4 games. Meanwhile, Super Eagles B will know their 2024 CAF African Nations Championship CHAN 2024 qualification foes on Wednesday, October 9, when the draws will be held in Cairo, Egypt. After missing the last 2 editions, Nigeria is expected to participate in the tournament that will be hosted by Kenya, Uganda and Tanzania from February 1st to 28, 2025. The CHAN tournament is meant for players in their country's domestic leagues. The first round of qualifiers will be played on the weekend of October 25th to 27th and November 1st to 3rd, with the second round confirmed for December 20 to 27 and December 27 to 29. Nigeria failed to qualify for the 2020 edition and the previous ones in 2022, which was hosted by Algeria and won by Senegal.
For more news, connect with Lagos Television on these social media platforms. Please remember to call Lagos toll-free lines 767 or 112 in case of emergencies. Many thanks for watching. I am Bababumi Agbibi. Join us again at 2.